Bonjour and welcome all of you comic book geeks, all you comic book readers and all you comic book collectors. Best day of the week, isn't it? New comic book day. And I'm here to review for you 10 of the best this week. It was a little bit of an average week, a little bit of a slow week. So there was just about 10, to be honest. Deep dive on the top 5 honourable mentions, and then at the end of the video, cover of the week, to just have a little bit of fun, imagining if we only had enough pocket money for one comic and we was on our way to the spinner or the shelves in the drugstore, newsagents, wherever it was, back in the day. Just a little bit of a light-hearted look at what would be attracting us now. And there is one cover that, anyway, but we will get to it. I will have a little, normally sometimes I do a little bit of a whinge of the week. I've kind of got, I'm going to combine it because I'm confused and I'm going to need your help. Anyway, let's get on with it. But before I do, thank you to my sexy subscribers. You know how much I love you all. Any of my friends from Threads, welcome, one and all. And if you're just a regular, spreading all the love to all of you. And I love comics, and this is what it's all about. This is the new stuff right here. And I'm going to kick off with my top 5. And this is going to be a weird one to start off with because this is the one I'm confused about. I'm going to need your help, guys. I don't get it. I've reread it already. Read it twice. I don't get it. But artwork by Sandoval? I must have missed something. Sanford Green and Jonathan Hickman, art, plot, script. I don't know if I missed all the years of Hickman or can't remember all Hickman's Fantastic Four, but I'm lost. Back to, but I'm not saying that, mate. I mean, it's a gorgeous looking comic, don't get me wrong, and that's why we're going to do a deep dive on it. But I think I want to kind of talk about it out loud and see if I can understand it as we go through it. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Briar, issue 5. Christopher Cantwell is doing a really nice, he's doing a good job on a fantasy story. That's the first chapter in a new arc. So we had a 4-issue arc, and that's a new, what's it? So if you want to get the collected edition, I do recommend it. It's quite a light-hearted. I won't say it's soft, because there are consequences to people's actions, but they're a young group of adventurers on their quest. You know, typical fantasy fare, but I'm really enjoying it, and a nice art job as well. We'll go through that action This continues to be a great read. DC are doing a nice job. Joshua Williamson on the writing on that, a good writer, and we're going to do a deep dive on that. The Brainiac continues to, be decimating the whole Superman family. We've got to have another little look at this because I'm finding this wonderful. I love Peach Momoko's work, and she's writing it as well. I do believe she's writing it. It's the whole thing's by her, isn't it? Yeah. She's kind of getting into a nice storytelling technique as well as being an artist, a unique artist. So I'm really enjoying that. And my book of the week is, I'm loving this. I really am enjoying this. It's got hints of everything. I know I said issue 1, it's got that vibe of the Pirates of the Caribbean. It's also got a Highlander vibe to it because he's like an immortal. Because for somehow he's got immortality. In this issue 2, I kind of got a bit of a Highlander vibe, particularly when in the film, the first film, the Christopher Lambert one, particularly when they kind of run through all the past bits, like when they're having the duel at Dawn, particularly this scene where they're having the duel at Dawn, and obviously Christopher Lambert's character can't die. What was his name again? Oh, here I go. Another video, another memory lapse. Anyway, they're doing the duel, and he keeps getting shot. He's drunk. He's gone to this, and this is in the 1800s in France, I think it is. Doesn't matter where. Or no, it might be America. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He's doing this duel with the hand muskets, and the guy keeps shooting him. The Highlander keeps shooting him, and he keeps getting up. He's drunk, and he's giggling. His wig's all. I don't know if you've seen the film. I do recommend it, the original, and it still does stand up quite well. A lot of practical effects, you know, that still to this day. Anyway, I'm rambling about film. Let's get back to the. Anyway, that's my book of the week. It reminds me of a lot of good stuff. Issue 1 of Collision Course Gun Honey. This is a nice. This is a good, kind of easy read, adventure driven. You know, the cover says it all. To be fair, yeah, that just says it all. Gun Honey. End of. Napalm Lullaby, 3rd issue. What an excellent story Rick Remender is weaving here, and the art by Bengal is spot on, absolutely spot on for this science fiction kind of dystopian. In this issue, they kind of delve into religious dogma, and the best science fiction is always holding up the present day to the light, holding up things going on in our right now and where we think it might go. That, for me, that's the best science fiction, and that's what Napalm Lullaby is all about. I love it. Last and 3rd issue of this, I really enjoyed this. I don't know why they didn't just release it as a trade, but perhaps they're dipping their toe into, you know, it's an Italian, so that European feel to the artwork and the storytelling. I really did enjoy, and I know I said before, but it's almost like an Elseworlds because it's just skewed enough. But to be fair, the Batman and Robin book is skewed enough from the main Batman book, which is skewed enough from Detective Comics, and I mean, not so much the Batman and Robin. It's okay, but I do enjoy Batman and Detective with those 2 different viewpoints, and I really enjoyed that. Again, it had a light-hearted feel to it, but without being like fluffy and inconsequential. It was good. John Constantine in there as well, and Dylan Dog is a nightmare investigator, so it fit. And Batman has to go to London, so yeah, little bit of everything thrown in there. This again, another issue 3. Oh no, it's issue 4, and Chris Claremont weaving an old school romp. Just the sequel to issue 268. I think that was Jim Lee's first one, wasn't it? But anyway, this is a 4-issue kind of sequel before issue 269. But I've been really enjoying it, just for the old school vibes. Black Widow how she should be, Captain America how he should be, Wolverine how he should be. No messing about. Love it. Bring me more of that. A bit like the Spider-Man Green Goblin. Here's Spider-Man how he should be. Peter Parker, MJ, blah blah. Here it is. End of. No multi-universally time travelling, sky hopping, etc. to it. Just here we go. Characters you know and love. End of lesson. And this as well. I think the final. It's the final. Why did I want to sing then? But this has been a great. It's been an awesome ride. See what I did there? And I do recommend the trade. I do recommend the trade when all this, if you can't get hold of the floppies. It's been. Oh, sorry, I was just trying to look for the Joshua Williamson again. Andre Bresson, who's the co-creator with Joshua Williamson, and the setting of the story and the unraveling of the story and the secrets behind the family that runs the I was going to say the theme park, not fun park, the theme park, horror-based theme park family that runs it, and what the dad had to do back in the day. 12 issues collected in a nice trade paperback. That'll be a stonking read. Thoroughly recommend. Anyway, that is my top 10 for the week. So if you want, I'm going to do a deep dive on my top 5 after the scroll. But that'll be a little bit more spoiler heavy, guys. So I don't think I've kind of given up. Well, I hope not. I should have warned you if you haven't been here before. But I'm warning you now. Obviously, we're doing a deep dive, so there might be a spoilery element to it. So if there are books you haven't picked up that I don't go to the end of every book because I don't want to be that spoilery. But nevertheless, just beware if it's a book you haven't picked up yet and you don't really want to get too involved. But if you do, join me after the scroll. Okay, guys, so let's get this one out of the way. Let's get this one out of the way first. And I don't mean out of the way as in I hate this. I just don't know whether or not a lot of people, they hold Hickman up in such high regard, and I'm just not so sure that, like I say, beautiful art job. Right, we found him. So I don't know if this is just completely set in the future or I've missed something, because we dive straight in, which I don't mind. We're introduced to this character here, who is Doctor Doom's niece. She's Valeria, her name is. And obviously Sanford Green and Jonathan Hickman art plot script. So Sanford Green's obviously had, and it is beautiful art, by the way. I really do like the style of it. And this is set in the far-flung future after, and she's regaling us with the tale of when Doom fights Galactus. And yeah, I wish I'd have seen a mini-series of the fight, to be fair, rather than this one issue. It's like a sci-fi science fiction parable, but without a lot of meaning, if you know what I mean. The parable should have, some kind of meaning at the end, some lesson maybe at the end. So after he defeats Doctor Doom, and then he goes after all the planets, and then he comes to Earth, and all the Earth's heroes, here we go, have to stand up to him, and they fail. They fail, and Galactus destroyed them all. So obviously it's set in the future. Like I say, look how Howard the Duck there, look. Of course he's got to get in on the fight, hasn't he? Of course he has. What's this, Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur? Like I say, beautiful art job, beautiful colouring. Just the story, it's not a story. It's just an end of the world, end of the days kind of, is Doctor Doom. I don't know what to think, guys. Again, this really is good. The only reason I put this in my top 5 is because of the glorious artwork, and I'm just half and half with it. I don't detest it. Now this was peculiar as well. This was another little minor annoyance why they did that. Now I can only assume that was drawn as a double page spread maybe, and they didn't have room for it. They wanted to put a page of adverts into this one shot, this Doom one shot, and they condensed it down and put it that way. Why did they have to do that? Those 6 panels and that image really could have been shown normal, rather than that jarring, because the words are the wrong way around. Oh. Anyway, let's move on. So the nullifier, whatever it's called, from Marvel lore to from the Celestials, Doctor Doom is basically Valeria, this girl that saved him, or not saved him, but found him floating out in space at the beginning of the issue. This is the new Doom with his new armour. Yeah, I know. Yeah, these are new. I don't know. Like I say, I don't know if I'm missing something. If I should have read the last 10 years of Fantastic Four to understand what's going on. So here's Doom fighting 3 new Heralds of Galactus again. So this is a rematch against Galactus. But like I said, this artwork and this lettering reminds me of Darren. Is it Darren Warren Thompson or Tom? Is it who's the guy who was on Transformers? That guy, Darren Warren. Anyway, him reminds me of that artwork. So it's glorious. Just not sure whether this was a very satisfying one shot. That was all. That's all I have to. That's all I have to say about that. So I won't show the end, but yeah, it's setting him up for the rematch here with the Heralds and Galactus. Yeah, divided. Help me out on that one, guys. Anyway, I don't need no help with this one because this is a straightforward fantasy tale. Briar, Princess. This is Princess Briar from the first. You know, obviously, the continuing adventures of our characters. Here's Princess Briar and her mates. We've got the skeleton here. The kind of you've got like the classic Dungeons and Dragons setup where you've got a warrior, a wizard, you know, etc., etc. These are our main, or three of the four main characters, and their adventures. So he opens with, it's quite funny. The birds remain squawking in this village that they're in, remain a part of the of the storytelling narrative, which I found quite funny. The writing, the language that Christopher Cantwell uses in this fantasy setting is really nice. It really is nice, very inventive, very evocative of a fantasy realm. So I really do enjoy this, and it's a nice art style that suits it. These birds are still there, cranes or whatever they are. Are they cranes? Yeah, I think they're cranes or herons. She's having a dream sequence here of this is the queen of the realm, Grendrid, and she's having the dream, which will. Here's the sheriff. Yeah, look, they're all squawking again. Yeah, being accused of stealing, even though at the beginning they saved a cow from thieves, they're being accused of theft somehow. And from there, look, they're all squawking. From there, it all goes wrong. I won't carry on because it will get too spoilery. But this is a good first issue to jump on. You don't really have to have bought the first four to understand completely what's going on. This is just the first part in their new quest, and they set up Grendrid as the bad guy as the bad person from the dream sequence. So you get everything you need. If you wanted to jump on with issue 5 while it's about, then that is one of my recommendations, top 5 of the week. This Action Comics run continues to be a great superhero romp. Absolutely glorious artwork and colouring. A beautiful looking comic. So the artists Rafa Sandoval and Miguel Mendonca, and I've got to mention Alejandro Sanchez as well on the colours. I think I've mentioned them all before. Basically, part 3 of the Brainiac saga. He's obviously teamed up with, as you can see, Superman and Lobo versus the Zarnians that Brainiac has got, kind of flying around the galaxy collecting up these people with superpowers. These two have escaped last issue, but they were shrunken, but they've escaped their cell and still remain small. So yeah, that was done in quite a nice, light-hearted way. Joshua Williamson really getting a good handle on writing superhero characters well, and I believe that is not an easy trick at all to accomplish. I think a lot of people are getting it wrong, and there's Mark Waid and Jeff Johns at the moment, but they are obviously veterans. Along with J.M. DeMatteis on the Green Goblin, obviously another veteran. But amongst the new kids on the block, Joshua Williamson on this is proving that he can do it. Well, for me, 100%. This is, like I say, glorious artwork and colouring. Brainiac reigning supreme so far. I'm liking this kind of this. I read that Supergirl Man of Tomorrow, which is kind of giving us a bit more of a rough and ready Supergirl, which I do enjoy. So I hope they bring that to the film that's just been announced. And again, good sci-fi stuff. And Wise Luthor, after everything he's done in the Superman comic to kind of redeem himself, he's teamed up with Brainiac. But I don't think that's all as it seems. I think that's going to be, there's going to be a big reveal somewhere down the line. And obviously these two work well, as complete opposites of each other. Space Cabbie. And again, I will leave it. No, the Zarnians turn up, and here we go. We're going to get a battle royale, aren't we? Or are we? So yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it, and just great. You know what I'm like, guys. Just great storytelling. Forget the balloons. Great storytelling. Copper sees the Zarnians arrive. Now he's off. Without reading. These two are obviously there or turned up. And what's going. Look, it's kicking off. Love it, and again, thoroughly recommend. Now that's part 3. You obviously will have to get the last couple of issues, or wait for the trade to turn up. Now I know I've done this one before, but we'll have a quick flick through because Peach Momoko on this, I just love the ease with which she's now in the writing chair as well. And again, this is the stuff I love. Again, it is comic book storytelling, sequential art. The characters are great. Obviously, my worry before this book come out was that X-Men purists wouldn't like it, because I know it's set in the Ultimate Universe, but this is a completely new take on the X-Men. Obviously, this character here is her origin, and it's obviously, well, I won't say anything else. It's just her origin story. She's having a bad day, saying hello to the neighbour, the creepy neighbour whose cat scratches her. She's obviously, she's laying on bed. Somehow, this creepy, this what's the word I'm looking for? This imagery has been in the first 2 issues. This character, this eye, all this stuff, this bad thing going on. Or is it bad thing? What is it? We don't know yet. This mysterious kind of thing, which I'm enjoying. And this is like I say, this is the origin. And look at how it's told very, very nicely and succinctly. Very nicely, and it's all boiling up to this point. And there is a big spoiler, by the way, before I turn this page. I don't know if you already know. Does the cover give us a clue? Maybe. But if you don't want to know, but I've got to show it because of the glorious artwork. But it's a big spoiler, guys. So turn away if you haven't read this yet. Here we go. Bosh. Love it. Really, really. I thought it was such an impactful, the lead up to the build up to it, just nice storytelling. And her hair's gone white. That Storm, love it. Definitely in contention for Book of the Week again. But this bad boy come along, and he is a bad boy. He's a naughty boy. He's a rapscallion. He's a rascal, and this is such a lot of fun. Jeff Johns is relaxed into this character. Is it Simon Pure? Yes, Simon Pure, from the Civil War era in America, and he's met this boy. We're right in the middle of a story again. This is what reminded me of Highlander, what I was waffling on about earlier on, but nevertheless. A great character in the tradition of the lovable rogue. Like this character here, this German boy, or maybe Austrian, is in fact, and spoilers again, guys, spoiler alert, turn away now if you haven't read this yet. This is Albert Einstein. It is Albert. Oh dear. So anyways, teams up with Albert Einstein and he's got this wound, and Albert's been searching for Simon Pure because he had a dream. And it's mad as a bag of frogs, the whole storyline. So they go to New York to search for the only other immortal guy that Simon knows. This character, this guy here. And they're not Benedict Arnold, and they're not mates, really. And again, this is what reminded me of Highlander, where there are other immortals about. So yeah, a definite vibe there, but nothing like Highlander. That's where the similarities end, because this is even more bonkers than you can imagine Highlander being. I mean, teaming him up with Albert Einstein, where did that come from? I do not know. Anyway, I won't show any more because obviously, you know, this is less of an action-packed issue than the second issue set up for what comes after. You know, the further mission to kind of, because he's saying like that he doesn't know how to heal this wound, even though he's an immortal. Doesn't know how to, you know, this wound keeps doing this, the pain again and again. So that's the further storyline. So I will leave it there. I will leave it there and leave that cover there. That's not the best cover. Let's have a little look for cover of the week. That is obviously Brian Hitch artwork. I'm not saying that, but as a cover to attract you, that maybe Dead Girl with these specks of blood. Maybe. I think this is more like it. Supergirl and Superboy trapped by Brainiacs. I think that's a great cover. I know this wasn't in my top 10, in my top 5, but the cover, loving it, loving that. That's got everything you need. Cap as we like him, Wolverine as we like him, and a big hulking villain with a big massive sword. Love it. That does everything it says on the tin. A naked babe with a machine gun. Say no more. Batman and Dylan Dog. I just really thought this was a beautiful design. I thought I had to include that because I just think that is an eye-catching, a beautiful design. That's, you know. And the same with this. You and I. This is a good series, which I'm going to wait till the end, I think, to recommend it. But I might as well, while I'm here, I'm recommending this now. You and I. Because J. Michael Straczynski's he's weaving quite a story there. So I haven't found my way in to show you guys yet how good it is, but I will do by the end of that run, and it'll make an excellent trade. AWA always manage an excellent trade. I just had to throw that one in. Look, we go from naked babes with guns to ducks and robots, and G.I. Joe. A black-clad figure with smoking guns. I mean, that would have attracted my attention, and so would that. I mean, come on, look. But what is the best? A bit static, yep. That is great, but yeah, we're going to keep it there. Obviously, ducks and robots is going to be good. That's got to stay there. I'm sorry, guys, but that's probably a bit static design-wise. That's also good. Peach Momoko, glorious. You know how much I love her, but that's probably a bit of a static image as well. So Brainiacs attacking. Yeah, I think that's in the running. Redcoat. I think this is our top 3. To be fair, this is our top 3 out of the 3. I think that's third because, you know, this impending doom rather than and. I'm going to call it, guys, it's that. Adam Hughes doing everything you need to with a comic cover. That would 100%, and I'm sorry, you know, I apologise if you think that, oh my God, that's a bit typical, but I am's what I am's, and I like the way he's covered up. He's made it totally accessible with a flick of a hair and the butt of a gun. No pun intended. I like the way the cover up has been minimal. And anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. If you've stayed with me this far, thank you so much. You know, I appreciate all you sexy subscribers and anyone who's commenting. And please let me know on that Doom comic. Please let me know what's going on and what I've missed. If you know, or do you agree or disagree? Please just let me know in the comments. And on that note, I will bid you all adios.